12 huge Coronation Street spoilers for August 5 to 9. Next week on Coronation Street, get ready for some intense drama as Joel faces mounting pressure after Lauren gives birth. Tensions are on the rise once again between Mason and Dylan, and the surprise return of Alina to Weatherfield adds to the excitement. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of these thrilling updates. Lauren waits for news at the hospital. Lauren's world is turned upside down when she finds herself waiting anxiously at the hospital after giving birth to her baby boy prematurely. The new arrival, so small and vulnerable, lies in an incubator, and Lauren's heart is gripped with fear. She's consumed with worry, not knowing what the future holds for her little one. Every beep of the machines and every glance from the medical staff adds to her anxiety. She's surrounded by the sterile, cold hospital environment, which only amplifies her feelings of isolation and helplessness. Lauren's thoughts are a whirlwind of what-ifs and maybes. She can't help but imagine all the possible outcomes, both good and bad. The uncertainty is overwhelming, and she feels like she's on an emotional roller coaster. As she looks at her baby, so fragile and tiny, she prays for a miracle, hoping against hope that he will pull through. Her mind races with memories and dreams of what life could be like with her son growing strong and healthy. All she can do now is wait and hope for the best, clinging to every bit of encouragement from the doctors and nurses. 2. D.S. Swain continues to investigate Lauren's tough week, takes another challenging turn when D.S. Swain shows up at the hospital. The visit adds to her stress, as Swain is eager to ask her more questions. Lauren feels the weight of the moment, knowing that whatever she says could have significant consequences. She's already emotionally drained, and the pressure to provide answers doesn't make things any easier. The conversation is a test of her resilience, as she navigates through the fear and uncertainty of her situation. Meanwhile, Max is doing his best to be a supportive friend. Seeing Lauren struggle, he steps up to show her that she's not alone. In a sweet gesture, he invites her out for lunch, offering her a brief escape from the hospital's tension. Max's kindness provides a glimmer of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic time for Lauren. His effort to be there for her, even in small ways, makes a big difference, showing that sometimes it's the little acts of care that matter most. 3. Betsy piles more pressure on Joel. Betsy rebukes Joel for throwing her out of his car in the middle of a rough estate. She warns Joel that he now owes her. Later, Betsy makes her demands by asking Joel for $100 in exchange for her silence over the way he targets young girls. Joel is left furious and drags Betsy into the ginnel to threaten her. 4. Alina returns. Alina and Fizz are surprised to come face to face in the Freshco's car park. Alina explains that she's making a brief return to testify in a trial relating to human trafficking. Even though Alina doesn't intend to stay, Fizz wonders whether to tell Tyrone that his ex is back in town. 5. Cassie brings Alina back to the cobbles. Cassie visits the streetcar's office and spots Alina's name on a booking. Alina has requested a cab to take her back to the airport. Meddling Cassie takes Steve's taxi to pick up Alina and brings her back to Coronation Street, against her will. How will Tyrone react when he sees Alina again? 6. Beth is caught up to no good. Beth breathes a sigh of relief after finally retrieving her latest batch of counterfeit t-shirts, which had mistakenly ended up in the underworld van meant for deliveries. She's been on edge, worrying about getting caught. But now that she has the goods back, she feels a bit more in control. Beth quickly makes her way to the ginnel to hand over the merchandise to Sid and get her payment, hoping this will all go smoothly. However, things take a turn when Craig and Kit catch sight of the shady exchange. Their presence throws a wrench in her plans, making the whole situation much more complicated. 7. Hope's decisions spark concern. Hope abruptly dumps Sam as she's now interested in pursuing Jack. Fizz fears her daughter is making the wrong choice. Later in the week, Hope visits the GP surgery and tells Dr. Gaddis that she wants to go on the pill. Dr. Gaddis supplies Hope with condoms, but encourages her to have an open dialogue with her family. How will Fizz and Tyrone respond? 8. Stu continues to help Mason. Stu's heart sinks when he catches Mason stealing food and learns that the teenager is homeless. It's a tough reality to swallow, seeing someone so young struggling on the streets. Wanting to help, Stu offers Mason a place to stay at number 6, hoping to give him some comfort and stability, but Mason, proud and wary, turns down the offer, refusing to accept any charity despite his desperate situation. Stu feels a mix of frustration and sympathy, understanding Mason's pride but worried about his well-being. Determined not to give up on him, Stu comes up with a different plan later in the week. He offers Mason a job as a pot washer at Speed Dial, thinking this might be a more acceptable form of help. It's a step toward giving Mason some independence and a chance to earn his keep. Stu's intentions are good, but his decision sparks a backlash from the locals. Gary, Liam's worried stepdad, is particularly vocal, concerned about Mason's influence and the potential trouble he might bring. The reaction from the community puts Stu in a difficult position. He believes in giving Mason a chance, knowing that everyone needs a helping hand sometimes. But the pushback makes him question whether he's doing the right thing or putting others at risk. It's a tough call, balancing his desire to help Mason with the concerns of his neighbors. Stu remains hopeful that Mason will prove everyone wrong and turn his life around, despite the rocky start and the skepticism he faces. 9. Betsy stirs up trouble between Mason and Dylan. Mason confides in Betsy about how he's worried over the hostile reaction to him in Weatherfield. Betsy meddles by warning Dylan not to mess with Mason, pointing out that he has access to sharp knives in his new job at Speed Dial. When word of this gets back to Mason, he warns Betsy that he can fight his own battles. As Mason and Dylan come face to face again, will the teenagers' tensions boil over once again? 10. Leanne continues to snub Toya. Leanne is adamant that keeping her distance from Toya's cancer treatment is the right move, convinced that it's best for both of them. She believes that her absence will somehow make things easier, though it's hard to understand her reasoning. Her decision leaves a noticeable gap in the support Toya desperately needs during such a challenging time. Leanne's firm stance on the matter only adds to the emotional strain, making it even harder for everyone involved. Nick, on the other hand, is shocked by Leanne's seemingly cold approach. He can't fathom why she would choose not to support her sister, especially when Toya needs her the most. Leanne's lack of compassion before Toya's latest hospital appointment is a blow that Nick struggles to comprehend. Unable to stand by and do nothing, Nick decides to step in and offer the support that Toya is missing. His determination to be there for her highlights the stark contrast in their responses to the crisis. As Nick accompanies Toya to the hospital, the bond between them strengthens in the face of adversity. His presence provides some comfort and reassurance that she isn't facing this battle alone. Meanwhile, Leanne's absence becomes more glaring, raising questions about her motives and the impact of her decision on their family dynamics. Nick's actions emphasize the importance of solidarity and compassion, especially during such a trying period, leaving everyone to ponder the true meaning of support and family. 11. Leanne's responsibility grows at the Institute. Rowan informs Leanne that Willow has chosen her to run the Institute's new resource center. Leanne's first responsibilities will include meeting with Grant, a potential investor. Rowan introduces Leanne to Grant, then leaves her alone to take the lead with the sales pitch. 12. Steve is quizzed over his love life. Steve is having a great time with Cassie as they watch a Weatherfield County game together. The camaraderie and excitement of the match make for a fun and relaxing day. Steve appreciates Cassie's company, finding her easy to talk to and genuinely enjoying the moments they share. It's a refreshing change of pace, and he feels more at ease with her than he has in a while. Meanwhile, Tim brings up Demi, Steve's recent love interest, curious about what happened there. Steve chuckles and admits that he'd completely forgotten about her. The revelation surprises Tim, but it shows just how engrossed Steve has become in his time with Cassie. It's clear that Steve has moved on, and his focus is now entirely on the present, enjoying the new connection he's found with Cassie. Thanks for watching our rundown of the 12 huge Coronation Street spoilers for August 5-9. It's clear that next week is going to be packed with drama, surprises, and emotional moments that you won't want to miss. If you enjoyed this preview, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you're always up to date with the latest spoilers and updates from your favorite soap. Leave a comment below with your predictions and thoughts. We love hearing from you. See you in the next video.